I'm out on the range today with Zhiyun's Mackey edition Molus X100 lights. Now, if you haven't heard of Mackey, he's an indigenous photographer and filmmaker who's often seen kicking up dust in the desert. Now, we kick up more mud than dust around these parts, but I have been known to reveal my inner cowboy on occasion. So Zhiyun partnered with Mackey to create this awesome palm-sized RGB light with tons of features. In accord with the Mackey branding, cosmetics are very well done, just beautiful. I love the olive green and faux leather detailing. It really is palm-sized with a total body thickness of 3 centimeters and weighing just 384 grams, 13.5 ounces. The standard version sells for $269 US, the Pro version for $49. The Molus X100 RGB can be powered by a detachable drip battery with 55.08 watts capacity, which runs for around 34 minutes at full power. You can also use the DC power adapter or USB-C. It can be controlled via the knobs/buttons on the side or the Bluetooth app. More on that later. In CCT, it has a color temperature range from super warm 2500 K to 10,000 K, CRI 95 plus, TLCA 97 plus. At 1 meter, the bare light delivers 3110 lux at full power. With the mini lens reflector, its brightness in CCT mode is boosted 4.3 times to 12,600 lux. That's equivalent to 300 watt light. In RGB mode, brightness increases by 3.6. The Molus X100 is available as standard. You can add other accessories like barn doors, spotlight modifier, or as a pro kit that comes with the barn doors. Bowens mount adapter with built-in reflector, storage bag, softbox, power adapter, and storage organizer bag. The barn doors attach magnetically, and check this out, numbered so that you remember which order to fold them in. The cooling fan is essentially silent. It's just a whisper really. On the base, the usual 1/4-inch mounting hole to attach to a light stand, as I have it here right now. The X100 light's manual controls are pretty straightforward, represented in these 2 clickable and rotating knobs, and the power button on the back. A long press of the power button, then rotation forwards or backwards of the select knob. You'll see the Zhiyun name scroll across the screen. Just a press of the power button is needed when powering with external power. A couple of notes on secondary functions of these controls. Triple clicking of the power button resets Bluetooth. A double press of the select knob switches to the previous mode, like the last channel button on your TV remote. The rest is pretty intuitive. The base menu offers options to choose language, English or Chinese, Bluetooth reset, which can also be done by triple clicking the power button, live mode. Now, that's a bit complex, so I'll put a full description in a sidebar to explain the ins and outs of this function. Scroll down 1, notice the downward arrow to see the firmware version, and this can be updated via the app, which we'll get to in a minute. Single press select knob for CCT mode, then turn the select knob to switch dimming, color temperature, and we have magenta green adjustment here as well, to match other lights or measured color if you have a colorimeter. Each parameter is adjusted via the adjust knob, either by single digits turning the knob or by larger increments by pressing the knob, and same goes for the other modes. HSI, you can adjust dimming value, hue and saturation. RGB, adjust red, green, blue, and the brightness level. 15 FX effects, if that's your thing, including SOS, paparazzi, candlelight, faulty bulb, TV, explosion, maybe they can fix that with a firmware update, welding, CCT loop, CCT pulse, CCT flash, police car, party, fireworks, color loop, color flash, and color pulse. More interesting to me, maybe I'm a party animal at heart, is the music mode. So you can adjust the brightness, choose between RGB and CW. RGB is full party mode, really, which gives you 7 colors to tune. Let's party! The X series also supports the Zhiyun spotlight attachment to focus light projection. It comes with 10 creative logos: heart, moon, double happiness, Chinese window, 4-window, blinds, slanted window, geometric fireworks, and bar shaped. This is a solidly built metal spotlight with all the usual features and light shaping tools associated with a studio spotlight in miniature. The Softbox 400 fits firmly on the light via the sort of mini Bowens, and it's an excellent, easy to set up unit with 2 layers of diffusion available and a grid. Perfect for portraits, in studio, or on location. I love this cute little softbox. It produces beautiful diffuse light. Now the Pro Kit includes a Bowens mount adapter with built-in reflector and umbrella holder. It's solid enough for use with a medium-sized light modifier. I've been using it with my 32-inch folding beauty dish, and that works well. The aforementioned ZY Veda app lets you control the X100 from your mobile device, turn the light on and off, access all modes, functions, and adjustments, plus create presets, use a color picker, update firmware, etc. And it's really well designed. So that's the Zhiyun Mackey Edition Molus X100 light, the best full-featured location lighting solution that I've ever used. And this may be the perfect companion to the Molus X100 RGB light. This is the Coalex Lancer300 modular backpack, and modular it is. Depending on the model, there's a dizzying number of components. So there is, as they say, some assembly required. This is a 30-liter pack built around a sturdy nylon and fiber load-bearing exoskeleton. How much does it weigh, though? Depending on how you read it, you're looking at around 3.6 kilos, just over 7 pounds, empty. So we're not talking ultralight backpack here. The pack has 3 main compartments. Primary access is from the back, which has breathable mesh pads and a handle that I don't recommend using to lift the pack when it's loaded. There's one on the top to hoist it upright. On the back of the main hatch cover, there's a couple of zippered pockets, useful for documents, and a sleeve that'll hold up to a 14-inch notebook or large tablet, say a 12.5-inch iPad. Now I'll add a final comment on that feature in a summary. The included waist strap slides behind the door and it's secured with Velcro. Again, more on that in the summary. The padded shoulder straps are well secured to the frame, tension straps here, and a sternum strap as well. And I should add there's a ton of nicely made dividers included. The lower compartment runs the width of the pack, room for clothing or larger items, and I'll get back to that shortly. There's a rain cover tucked away in a zippered pouch. Accessible from the front, there's a top compartment, perfect if you're a drone pilot. I'm not, since Canada's laws are much too much of a hassle. But if you are, this is the perfect place to store your drone, controller and accessories, batteries and whatnot. It detaches easily. You just release a couple of side latches and fasteners on the front. Then, using one of the many accessory straps, you can use it separately as a shoulder bag. Pretty cool. However, if you have the X100 Pro light kit, as I do here, then on the bottom there's another zippered access hatch. I should point out that all the exposed front zippers are sealed, and the pack itself has a water resistance rating of IPX5, which means it can handle light to moderate rain and splashes from any angle. This is the large space we saw from the rear, and as I say, it runs the width of the pack, which can accommodate the X100 light and accessories in the carry case. Both the upper and lower compartments have nice reinforced covers. In the middle, there is another handy pouch including a front pocket. The main compartment has a zippered pocket if you shoot film. These elastic holders are perfect for film canisters. Again, included straps and fasteners are used to attach this, and it's perfect to hold a point-and-shoot camera, especially if you move it around to the front where it serves as a chest pack. There's pockets on both the waist belt, great spot for snacks, and the shoulder straps for other essentials. Now, here's a novel feature. Made possible by the frame, you can attach what Coalex call hands-free magic arms, one or two depending on the combo that you choose. These 1.5 meter telescoping arms can be used as selfie sticks or even light stands, either while you're hiking or on the ground. On the trail, if you have a 360-degree camera, that's particularly effective. As mentioned, I have a GoPro, so that's what you'll see here as an example. I have to admit, I had serious doubts about how useful they'd be, particularly when fully extended, but I have to say, after using them, I'm pretty impressed. Sure, your weight is transferred through the pack and into the arms, but the effect is kind of interesting, especially given the high viewpoint that's possible with these, and I do appreciate being able to leave a tripod and or light stand at home, especially when I'm using something like the lightweight Molus X100. So if we use the center pouch up front, that leaves an empty space, right? Which, wait for it, is designed to accept a space-age 300-watt power station. It just slides into the exoskeleton and snaps into place. Star Wars vibe for sure. Since the X100 consumes just 100 watts maximum, this 300-watt power station will run the light for several hours, depending of course on the settings. Obviously, this comes in handy for charging or running any number of other devices out in the field: cameras, camera batteries, computers, phones, stabilizers, and audio equipment. And the built-in 500 lumen flashlight comes in handy around camp. Ports include USB-C PD, 60 watt and 100 watt, and the 100 watt runs the X100 at full power, 2 times 18 watt USB-A, 120 watt DC output, 100 watt DC input that takes car, solar, or the included charging brick, 2 wall outlets, and if you're away on an extended trip, the 25 watt solar panel helps keep the power station topped up. Take note that since this is a 300 watt battery, it's not authorized for air travel. No worries, Coalex has you covered. There's a 100 watt version, as well as a variety of other kits. This 300 watt power station weighs in at 3 kilograms, that's 6.6 pounds. So again, before you start loading this pack, as I have it set up here, we're looking at 7 kilograms, it's about 15.5 pounds. Now, if only this thing would power my legs. The Molus X100 Lite is a superb piece of kit. Absolutely wonderful. It's become my go-to for rotation ever since I've had it over the last month. And I can't think of anything I'd really improve. Maybe the power-up with the battery should be simplified, but yeah, it's fabulous. The backpack is nothing if not innovative, but how practical. As we've seen, though you haven't felt, it's not suited to ultralight hiking, that's for sure. I'm not the mountain goat that I used to be, so take that into consideration when I say I'm not going to be carrying this very far, loaded with camera and lighting gear, not without help, anyway. That's also partly due to what I see as a design oversight. Back when I was a tough little Sherpa and I worked in the outdoor adventure industry, I had a hand in backpack design, so I feel confident in offering some practical advice. The exoskeleton design here is excellent, so it's a missed opportunity that a proper hip belt wasn't included, attached to the frame, rather than just slid behind the bed and relying on a piece of Velcro to keep it in place. It seems like an afterthought. The human pelvis is a sturdy structure, and the hip bones, well, they're connected to the thigh bone, right? The largest and strongest in our body. So that's where heavy loads should be carried and not on the shoulders. As I say, given that we have this well thought out frame, well, it's unfortunate that it wasn't used to its full advantage. When it comes to the 300-watt power station, it's an excellent thing to have on rotation right here. One thing to keep in mind, however, besides the weight, the fan, when the battery is under heavy load, it's fairly noisy. No more so than the KMTV 220-watt power station that I have, which can only power this light to 65 watts and powers up its fan immediately. But you're going to want to keep the station as far away as you can from your mics. The other missing feature I think really needs to be added to future iterations. There should be a weather shield flap, maybe it should be a slider, to protect the ports. When it comes to the notebook tablet sleeve, that puts the device against your back, so putting your laptop, whatever, right there, it's noticeable. It would also be nice to have a sturdy storage bag for the solar panel, maybe with integrated hangers, straps, whatever. Otherwise, there's no practical way to carry it when it's not in use, other than the laptop sleeve, and the same goes for why you wouldn't want it there. In summary, a few small design improvements could make this a more attractive option for adventurous content creators, especially if the power station could be lightened up a bit, and that should be possible. It'll be interesting to see the Lancer300 Mark II. Zhiyun sent me these products to test and review, and that's as far as it goes, no other obligations. The sponsored announcement that you see is simply due to the fact that I follow YouTube's directive to reveal when I receive something of value in exchange for a video review. But I hope you found something of value in this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if this is your first visit to my channel, please do consider subscribing. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss more content from me. In the meantime, take care, cheers, we'll see you later.